You're now stepping into the captivating world of beauty with a woman whose talent knows no bounds. Meet Kinshasa.
Hi guys, I'm Kinshasa, the makeup queen, also known as Queen Beauty. I'm super excited to welcome you guys to Beauty in the Community. It's a Queen Beauty podcast where we focus on celebrating and empowering women through fashion, beauty, and style. I am Kinshasa, your host, and I'm a proud director at the Makeup Academy New York City, and I'm also a fashion, beauty, and skincare expert. Beauty in the Community is proud to welcome our special guest today, industry guru, style expert, and author, Angelo Ellerbee. Angelo has been a PR and media specialist for over 40 years. Angelo has worked with some of the entertainment industry's biggest icons, including Mary J. Blige, Michael Jackson, Dionne Warwick, Kool and the Gang, Alicia Keys, and Lionel Richie, just to name a few. Angelo is also a CEO of his own media relations company called XXposure, as well as a humanitarian and activist. Today, we are going to focus on discussing fashion, beauty, and style, as well as Angelo's new book, Before I Let You Go, Life Lessons from an Industry Guru. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Angelo Ellerbee.
Wow, what a introduction. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure being here with you.
I am so excited to take a deep dive into your book. I know that you've been doing this for so long. You've worked with so many icons over the years. So just give me a little bit of an idea. What inspired you to write this book today?
Well, I'm going to be so transparent with you. As we live and exist in this world, I have to sit back and look at it inside of a mirror to reflect that we and people are not treated fairly. I know everybody thinks that this book is about secrets of the music industry. It's not. It is a template to my life to compare to what's going on in real life and real world outside of mine. I really am a starch believer in the words of God and His teaching, and I believe that will take nothing with me, and I believe that I should leave things here for other people to go by and to grow by. I get into the importance of taking care of all of God's children, not some of them, not those who we believe is successful that should be taken care of. But I'm talking about that lay person. I'm speaking about the incarcerated individuals. I'm thinking about the HIV and AIDS victims. I'm thinking about domestic violence. I'm thinking about those people that need a chance, another chance in life. I believe that He grants us so many chances. And we need to begin to motivate and stimulate our people to another richness of life. It's unfortunate that we live in the richest country in the world, but yet we are not the priorities of this country. And when I see homelessness, it bothers me to see people living in boxes and eating out of garbage cans. It bothers me, and I pray 45 minutes each and every single day, asking God to look over these people, to ask God to allow them to take the steps to get closer to you, to understand that prayer is answerable. I have a problem with mothers and fathers not understanding their children's selective lifestyle. And I don't even know if the word is selective lifestyle. I think it is a lifestyle. And so what they would do is they would throw them out of the houses because they don't understand what the child is going through. I want them to be protected and cared for and loved. I think that everyone that breathes should have a respect and a better way of life than living on the streets. I have a problem with watching women and men be brutalized in their homes, thinking that they have no other way to go, so they sit there and they live there and they're daily brutalized. I want them to understand that there are avenues out there and opportunities out there that they can go and create and be great, then be greater, and then be the greatest at it all. Challenges of life is difficult, but do you know when you can overcome those challenges, that's the winning reward. I just really want to give back what so many people in my life has given to me. I have had such opportunity. And I think as I grow older, I have an appreciation of the importance of giving back what someone else gave to me. I'm not going to take anything, no possessions with me when my time comes. So I thought in writing this book that it would be really important that I give the template of my life, being born and raised in the city of Newark, being brought up as a gay individual, having a mother had an 8th grade education, had sisters who were drug affected. It goes on and on and on and on. But yet I remain. And I must remain for a reason. It has to be a story. It has to be a mentoring. It has to be experience. I don't want kids just to go out and experience life. If I can sit up and tell them some of the things that I've gone through, and we can collaborate to understand for a better way and a better way of doing what it is that they want to do, then I've won my race. So yeah.
Absolutely, and I love how when I read your introduction, you described your book as a roadmap. You said like it's not a how-to guide. None of these small terms that people use to describe, their books when they finally get to that point. But you're saying this is a roadmap. So what part of your book makes you feel like people need a roadmap?
The part that when I write about homelessness, when I write about disadvantaged youth, when I see it all, I lived it all. I've been in the entertainment industry for 55 years, and I've seen people thinking that sniffing cocaine, taking all these crazy ass pills is going to allow them to get by. And the only thing that's going to allow them to get by is their faith and their belief in the man upstairs. We make this Hollywood syndrome so important that people believe that they must come in and act that way. And they must be participants in that lifestyle. And I'm saying the truth is not on strike. It doesn't. You make, you give. Don't go into a situation knowing what kind of party it is and you go there and then you participate. And then 3 years down the road, you want to come back and become accusatory to the host of the party. That ain't cool. Because you thought, see, there's a distinct difference with me in understanding the word ambitious and then ambitious.
Okay.
And a lot of people go into situations being ambitious. They just want to get there. They want to rise to the top. They want to get there so fast. So they go into these parties and they do what they think is going to make them be a success. And then when it doesn't happen, what happens then?
Absolutely.
Then you want to be accusatory. You want to blame someone. Blame your damn self. You have to understand what this whole monopoly of this industry is all about. Take a maturity pill and grow up. Don't take that other pill. Take a maturity pill with a big glass of water and grow up and understand that this is a business. And it is a business that sometimes can be a very corrupt business. So you have to do your job to study and understand this business. Take your craft and put it to the left side and sit back and understand the importance of doing business. Know what your publishing rights are. Be smart enough and astute enough to understand how to select a manager. What are the qualifications? What is the responsibility? This is your team. There's a courtship, there's an engagement, and then there's a marriage when it comes down to management. You need to have that courtship for a very long time, then let it develop into a relationship before you go to marry. So that means that you have to understand each particular entity of developing what would be your team of people that's going to travel with you, that are going to be to aid you in your deciding factors of your career. We got a good 5 years to make these selections and get it right. Some others are very fortunate. Some people took the highway and took the steps as opposed to taking the elevator and escalator, and so they understand the importance of longevity.
I love the work that you do at XXposure and how you're in touch with youth and artists and just general people in need. And I'm wondering, how do you overcome the fact, sometimes people just look at the glamour of the industry, when they're maybe looking to work in it. They're an artist. I'm a teacher at the Makeup Academy in New York City. We're always telling our students it's always not just about the glamorous life. Or maybe they're starting out in the entertainment or sports industry, theater industry, all industries I know that you're very familiar with. How do you overcome those conversations where you can tell that they're focusing more on the glamour, and you know, as you state in your book, you have to take the stairs?
You know, the thing for me is I try to be is so transparent, and particularly I think I've had more employees than the Empire State Building has steps. So it's not always my way and the highway, but I try to let you understand you came here to work. This is not a place for you to find a husband. This is not a place for you to find a boyfriend. This is not that place. This is the place for you to come and to learn and to grow by and to be involved and get and add into the makings of my company. I don't tolerate it, won't have it. And I remember letting 2 or 3 people go in a day, because when we initially hired them, we gave them a map of don'ts.
Okay.
Don't engage with my clients. Don't do this. Don't. And I looked out of my window. I had a bay window on 7th Avenue, and I saw the receptionist taking her lunch, but I also saw my client's limousine outside in front of my building. So I did see her get in the car, and that's a problem for me. So if you think that you're going to come and work and just to be affiliated with the these ain't no celebrities, not a one person. They are me and you.
Yes.
They have trials, they have tribulations, they have all the things that you and I go through. If you want to think that they're greater than who you are, then that's your problem. But you're not going to make it my problem. And so at the end of the day, for me, you have to respect my policy and my procedure. More importantly, as equally as important, you got to respect yourself.
I love that. And I love how you help people develop their personal appearance. And when I was reading some of your excerpt, you said, like, my clothes were my hero, but my style was my calling card.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, because when I'm growing up, and I called the greatest city in the world, Newark, New Jersey, which is a very urban city, and I would be about around a lot of, very handsome guys, the guys that look good, great bodies and the whole other bit. I just never found myself to be an attractive individual. But I always knew that I had something to bring to the table. And how was I going to bring it to the table? And how was I going to get people to notice me? And I always thought about style. I thought about clothes. And my mother was such an architect with regards to making sure that I stayed in the proper and right clothes. From 1st grade to 7th grade, I wore suits every day.
Wow.
Every single day. I got a haircut every week. My shoes were polished. I didn't have sneakers until it was time to go outside to play. She gave me survival skills. She allowed me to be who I wanted to be, but she was going to aid and assist me in understanding that we lived in white America. And because we live in white America, we're going to be judged on our presence. And our first impression, she told me, is going to be your lasting one. So you have to not be so, I don't want you to be looked at as a defensive young man. I want you to be accepted in any areas in which you choose to go in your life. And that was my beginning. Yeah, that was my beginning with clothes and loving clothes and understanding what clothes will do. I think I'm not trying to tell anyone in this modern day time that you have to become a slave to high fashion.
Right.
Because you don't. I go right over to Zara. I go to H&M.
Love it.
I go to all of those stores here, and I do go to your Pradas, and I go to those other stores as well. But I'm not a slave. I've learned the importance of mix and match and taking this and taking that and adding on and taking out, and your accessories and your jewelry and your shoes. All of those things become pieces of the puzzle that you put together for yourself. That's what I still do to this day.
And I love that because a lot of times when I talk to clients and even students about their appearance, developing their personal style, sometimes they feel sad. They feel like it has to do with their finances. They feel like they can't afford it. So how do you speak to that?
Listen, if you can go out here and buy a bag of weed, if you can go out here and buy some sneakers for $200 and $300, don't make excuses for your success.
Yes.
Don't do.
Exactly.
I can't afford it. You can afford what you want to afford.
Absolutely.
You can afford those weaves. You can afford those clip-on pieces.
Yes.
You can afford that makeup. You can afford all of that.
Absolutely.
So put it all in the same pot, just the way your mother makes dinner, and stir it up and come up with your realities.
That, I think, is the best advice, because I think that we do choose where we allocate our funds.
Yes.
And sometimes we might want to prioritize our style for one moment, or sometimes people might want to prioritize going out. And I think that sometimes people can use that as an excuse. So
Absolutely.
I did.
Absolutely.
I did wonder how you handled that statement.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with you. And I love how you said that people judge us on our appearance. At the end of the day, whether we like it or not, that's true, right?
Yeah.
And our first impression is the best impression.
It's the
right?
lasting one.
I am so grateful that you joined us today
Thank
for
you.
Beauty in the Community. Thank you so much for joining us. I really want you to tell my viewers how they can find your book.
I want the viewers to find not just my book, I want them to find themselves.
Oh, yes.
I want them to begin to fall romantically in love with who they are. I want your viewers to be original. I don't want them to be copycats. I want them not to be followers, but I want them to be leaders. I want them to lead their lives. Don't lead anyone else's life, yours. Don't become a part of something that you have absolutely nothing to do with. Become a part of who you are. Stand tall in your convictions to understand the who, the whats, the whens, the wheres, and the whys of your life. That's really what's important to me. And so my book, before I let you go, is you can go to discusses'Nyc.com, which is my motto for everything that I do. And then my publisher, which is a sister, which I love the fact that she's a sister because I like giving back to my community. Her name is Jermaine Miller, and she has a company called HOV Pub. So it's HOV.pub. It's the publishing company. But the book is great, the book is good, but at the end of the day, you're better. You're better than what I can tell you, because what I'm trying to tell you, you already know. This right here may give you some kind of clarity and support, and a lot of times we need to have that echo. But I know that you know better, and that you can do better by loving yourself and falling romantically in love with who you are. Just thank God sometimes. Wake up in the morning and look in the ceiling, or look out the window and say, thank you for the next day that you gave me. That's what I want your followers to do.
Wow, guys, you heard it right here from Angelo Ellerbee himself. Life lessons from this industry guru. Before I let you go, definitely check out the book, but definitely follow the lead of this guru. And what did you say to them? You know yourself best.
You know yourself
So
best.
I love that message. I want you to lead with that. I had my own line, but I think that you know yourself best is probably the best way for us to finish today. Thank you for joining us today for the Beauty in the Community podcast. Thank you, Angelo Ellerbee, for being my guest. And please stay tuned for more episodes. Bye, guys.
This is a Media Makers NYC production.